Let us enjoy the journey of learning. In this series of prerequisite for algebra, we have taken a very special question. We are going to talk about irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are those which cannot be written in the form of a fraction, p over q, mainly because when you convert them to decimal numbers, then you get the decimals which are non repeating and non terminating. Non terminating really means that we do not have an exact value in decimal form. As I've shown you, square root 2, so popularly used in mathematics, is 1.414213562. If you use the calculator, you can figure this out. Similarly, any other radical like this, for example, square root 5, is 2.236067977. Now the question is that irrational numbers are real numbers, right? And we know that real numbers can be plotted on a number line. So we have a number line here, and on this number line, we have to plot real number, which is in our case irrational also. How do we do that? How do we plot the exact value of these irrational numbers is what we are going to learn in this particular video. I hope you find it interesting. Perfect. Well, some of you who want to follow me and learn from me can always send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Perfect. Now, the basic concept with which we work is we can always approximate the values. Well, square root 2 is a square root which is between square root of 1 and square root of 4. We know square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. So 1 and 2, as you know, are the rational numbers whose exact value is known to us. So definitely, if I'm talking about square root of 2, I know that this is a value which is between 1 and 2 on a number line, right? So that part is known to us. But how do we get the exact value? For that, we go the next step, and that is remember the right triangles. Well, if I have a square, let's say, if I have a square and each side of the square is 1 unit. So each side is 1 unit. This is 1, this is 1. In that case, what is the length of the diagonal? Well, this length, which you can see, is exact, right? We are not calculating a decimal value for this. Using Pythagorean theorem, we know it is 1 square plus 1 square square root, right? Since this is a right angle triangle, and that indeed is square root of 2. So we do have a way of getting the exact value of square root 2. And simple as that, on a number line, we have 1 unit, right? So which is from 0 to 1. The only thing is we need to now put a line perpendicular 0 to 1, right? So one more unit vertical. And joining from 0 to our endpoint of this forms that diagonal which we are looking for. So that is the square root 2. Perfect. Now take a compass and go down. So we have a value here which corresponds to square root 2 on a number line. Perfect. You think it makes sense, right? So we have got the exact value. And that makes sense because all real numbers can be plotted exactly on the number line, even irrational numbers. Perfect. As an exercise, what you can do is now plot square root 5. So here is a blank page for you to plot square root of 5. How do you do that? Perfect. So go back to a number line. So again, we have this number line, right, on which we need to get the value of square root of 5. So on this number line, we have numbers 0, 1, 2. Let me redraw it, right? So, okay. So that's the number line. Let's see right side of this from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, square root of 5, as you see, is between two perfect squares, right? One perfect square is 4, the other one is 9. Square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. So the value, as you know, is between 2 and 3. Perfect. So that means it is between 2 and 3, somewhere here, right? We're looking for a value which is between this. It was the decimal value is also between 2 and 3, closer to 2. How do we get the right answer? Well, now in this case, if you look into the right triangle, we know that a square plus b square is c square. So if this time I have a triangle which is kind of like this, right? So one unit, we have to go up, that is the right triangle. And let's say this part here is what? We have to get 5 within the square root, right? So this part will be 2. So 2 square plus 1 square is actually 5, right? So 2 square is 4, 4 plus 1, which is square root of 5. So we get it. So we get square root 5 provided we are connecting the diagonal from 0 to 2, right? So we go from 0 to 2, that is one part, one side of this right angle triangle. Now we'll put a line which is right angles of 1 unit. So this is 1 unit, right? And joining this line with 0 gives us square root of 5, exact value. And then use your compass, right? And get it there. So you get this point, which indeed is square root of 5. Correct. That's how we get square root of 5. And that's a simple way. Similarly, we can continue plotting irrational numbers on a number line. I hope it makes sense. Remember one thing, the square root of 4 is actually equal to 2. So the other side which we are writing as 2 is square root of 4. So square root numbers help us to draw exact value of square root numbers on a number line. Interesting, right? So I hope it makes sense. Great. Feel free to write a comment, share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, be great. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.